Hey everyone, this is Deri, and welcome to the No Regrets series. And this is the crescendo. This is the number one. Now, if you're just coming in at number one, I encourage you to go back and see what the series is all about, how we did the global studies, and you'll see five regrets before this one. All right, and they're kind of very different. And I think a number of those might impact you. But number one is, I think it's the obvious one, right? It's the one when we say it, I think we understand it, we get it, and we understand why it's number one. Again, it's the one we're most scared of. It's the one that we don't address. And it's the one where the biggest regret of them all. It's the number one. It came out in all the studies that we did. A number of the regrets, they varied in their rankings. All right. So if we were talking about regret number five, for instance, I won't spoil it for you if you're going to go back. But it might have been ranked, two in one, five in another three. So we averaged the rankings. But through all of the studies, bar none, this one came out number one. So this was consistently the one we're going to regret the most. So I think this is the one we need to address the hardest, okay? And it's not loving fully. Now that's different to not love it. It's not just I didn't love. We all love to different contexts, right? But not loving fully. And this really did express itself in your spouse. So whether that's your partner, your husband, your wife, whatever that may be, this was in spousal relationships, not having loved fully. Now, this will start to feel you'll know if this is a regret for you or not. And again, it came in three guises. The first regret was in this instance was being with somebody that you didn't love fully and somebody you didn't want to be with, but not being courageous enough to be able to leave and seek new love. So that, it's people you will stay in a marriage way longer than they should do and just wait for the kids to grow up, etc. That's the first big trend that came out of the study. Now, I relate personally to this one. I was in a marriage for 17 years, and my ex-wife, I still got a huge respect for her. She's mother to three of my children, an amazing woman. We just drifted. We could have easily been this regret. We could have easily gone on, but we just weren't happy together. We were living different lives. We'd kind of really trajectoried away from each other. It was nothing really bad. It just wasn't right. And you'll see one of my taglines on my website, ambitious in love. It just didn't fit anymore. And we could have easily just stuck together until the kids had all gone to university, and then it would have been over. So that was one of the hardest decisions of both, and it was mutual. So it was one of the hardest decisions of both our lives, and one of the courageous decisions I think I've had to make, or in this case we had to make. But it was the right one, and we've gone on since. And I am ambitious in love. I'm very blessed to have the most amazing partner now. But that was one of the toughest things I've ever had to do. Way easier climbing Everest, right? So facing this stuff, this is where fear. For those who haven't seen my TEDx around fear, go and take a look at that. I'm going to got a whole new series coming up around fear, because what's stopping us here? That's fear, by the way. It's fear stopping us in this case. A lot of the others regrets, it's just not getting your shit together, right? It's not doing, just do in a lot of cases. In this one, it is just do, but this is a lot more deep. It's a lot more emotionally woven in, all right? Now, so I think some people will resonate with that one. The second regret was not asking the one you want to be with, right? So a number of people will love someone, to be infatuated, someone wants to be with someone, but never ask them, never tell them. And there was a huge regret around that. Now I recognize that one too, right? Because I came out of my marriage, and then I was back in the day. That was a long time ago since I was dating and stuff, and didn't have the stuff we have today. But in that, I was suddenly having to ask someone out for a date. What's that all about? I'd rather be on Denali facing the 3,000 meter drop than ask someone out for a date. And it was interestingly the fear that was embedded in me when that came to ask somebody for a date, right? And just, wow, you think about, and this is why the TEDx, I talk about this in the TEDx around fear, how deep that runs for us. So I get this one. Now, I'm also a bit of a courageous soul, and I will suck it up and get on with it anyway, but I'm telling you, it was not easy. and I can see why this is the number one regret, because I think it's also one of the number one fears, all linked back to the fear of, well, not failure in this case, it's the fear of rejection. Ooh, that cuts deep, eh? So, and the third piece which came out of this one was, one, it was staying with someone that we shouldn't have stayed with. Two was not asking the one we wanted to be with. And the third is, and hopefully you're in this genre, right, which is you're with the partner that you would love to be, it's your partner, they're the one, but you just don't tell them. You don't go deep enough. There's a bit of a regret in quality time in number 3, but this goes way deeper than just spending enough time with your loved one. This is about loving them deeply, loving them courageously, loving them like nothing else, and going all out, and expressing that in all ways. So I don't know which one. Hopefully you got this one sorted, all right, mate? You're with the love of your life. You're totally blissed out, happy, and there's no regrets here. And if that is you, then please give gratitude every day. If this isn't you, then it's time for some work, all right? Because this is the biggest regret bar none. Has got the biggest, deepest emotions laid into it as well. And you may need some help to get out of some barriers on that one. So come over to Diamond Life Design if you want some help architecting this. Again, we've got some great relationship coaches sitting over there who can help with some of you guys in the transition. It's not me. I needed help in this genre too. I reached out to multiple people, and we've got some of the best teachers in the world around relationships coming into Diamond Life Design. So excited about that, because this is a topic that's got to be addressed, because this has the biggest, deepest regret of all, and the biggest fears linked to it. So I hope you enjoyed the series. I'm going to do a couple of summary videos, because there's a couple of regrets that weren't in the mix. So I want to share one of those with you, and also give you a summary video of what are we going to do about all these regrets generally. All right. So I'll see you in the next video. I hope you've enjoyed the series so far.